friends, it is Thursday, November 18th, and I'm doing Technique Tuesday on Thursday, so just switching things up a little bit this week. It was a rather busy one between the day job and the family and all kinds of other things, so I had to kind of postpone a little bit. But I'm here and I really want to share this interesting and unique technique with you. So this is called Faux Suede. And it is a little difficult to kind of see on camera, but I assure you it's got a beautiful feel, and we've got the stamping on the back of it. And all you need are usual supplies that you have, plus some tissue paper. So let's get started. This one I did here with the Gorgeous Leaves, Gorgeous Leaves stamp set, and this is the Intricate Leaves die on there. And this is Cajun Craze coloring on the white ribbon, but I'm going to do a little bit different version, so we'll set that aside. We're going to use Blushing Bride, Balmy Blue, and Sahara Sand. Okay, and we're going to use a seashell kind of motif on this one. So here is the stamp set I'm using. Friends Are Like Seashells. And it is a bundle for $72.75, or just the stamp set on its own for $35 here in Canada. And I'm going to use a bunch of different images. So what you need first, I did some die cutting ahead because it's really the technique I want to show you, not so much the stamping and die cutting. So here is a card base in the this sort of layout for popping up, and I used the painted texture embossing folder. We did have one that went with this stamp set, but it has retired, so you may still have it at home though. So I just did that to give it a little bit of texture, just like on my sample card from earlier in the week. I wanted a little texture behind this. Okay, oh, Facebook is telling me to close unused applications, so we'll do that in hopes that we're not freezing up out here. Okay, so you need a piece of white, and that's just to do your stamping on. It can be whatever size you want. Mine is 3 by 4 1/4, and then I've got a piece to layer it onto. That's 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. It just fits right on top. And then I need a piece of just plain tissue paper, what you have left over from a paper pumpkin box, which is where I got mine from, or from gifts, whatever you buy at the dollar store, you can buy tissue paper. And you just want white embossing paper, white tissue paper with no flecks or anything in it, just plain old white. Okay, so we will work on that piece to start. I'm going to grab a couple of the images to do the stamping on. I'm going to grab a couple of blocks here. This is going to be random stamping, and I'm just going to add maybe this guy. Some of the other ones might be a bit big. Yeah, this one will do nicely. Okay, so I grabbed 3 different images. This part doesn't matter so much. This is your background, but I did love it with the leaves in 3 different colors. So I think what I'll do is get these lined up. And these are photopolymer stamps, so that means they have no red rubber backing on them. And so to help my stamping work out as best as possible, I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat. So that gives a nice little pushback from the stamp. I have a placemat underneath here, a little foamy placemat from the dollar store, but I still feel like you need something a little bit thicker. You could use a catalog too if you didn't have anything. Something that just has a nice little cushion there. All right, let's start with this one, and this is the silver dollar, and I'm using Sahara Sand. And I'm just going to stamp off a little bit because I wanted to make sure it wasn't too dark. This one tends to get a bit dark. Pull in some scratch paper. I want to protect this Stampin' mat because I want to use it again and again, and I don't want ink images all over it. So I will just put, let's see, a few down here. And when I'm doing this collage type stamping, I start with the largest one first, and then I'll go in with the next one. maybe the next largest. That one would probably be here. And I'll just put this guy in here for a few times. You want to fill up as much of the white space as you can. You can overlap them if you want. I'm not usually a big fan of that. If you see me stamp, you know that already. It's sort of not really my thing, but we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna get outside the box and try a few other things. And then I'm gonna take the smaller one, which is, I guess, just a basic seashell that you might pick up at the beach, and put this on with Blushing Bride. Oh, I guess I didn't have enough. It's not got the ink on it enough. And it's okay if it's not perfect, because we're going to be doing the technique on it, and that's just going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to put another one just in here. Okay, and maybe something up near the top here to balance it out a wee bit. That's a lot of stamping. I'm okay with it, even though I've got a lot overlapping. All right, let's get these ink pads out the way. So we've got our stamping done. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab a glue stick. Now, when this technique first came out, Stampin' Up! Had a glue stick in our sort of collection. It was the little glue sticks when I first started. So this is just something from, I don't know, the supply store, like a supply store. And what I want to do is I want to cover all that I've stamped with this, because then I'm going to apply my tissue paper to it. Just making sure I haven't misplaced. Oh, there it is. Not that I have to have it handy right away, but I just want to know where it is. Okay, so we're going to add adhesive everywhere. Now, because I've stamped with pretty quick drying inks, this is not going to run or anything. You wouldn't want to use something like Stampin' Blends or anything that's not water-based. Okay, so I got sticky all over it. Hi, Glenda. Thanks for popping in. And then I'm just going to take the tissue. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, forgot one little step before I put it down. I want to crinkle up this tissue paper, okay? Like, you want to get it really crinkly. Otherwise, it is just going to look like a flat surface. So you want to add some crinkle to it. So don't worry about ironing out your tissue paper, right? It's going to be totally fine that it's crinkly. Just grab it right off that last gift you got. And then you're going to put this on top, and you can spread it out as much as you like. You want some of that crinkle in there, though. It'll add to the texture on it. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm just going to snip around it. And just get some of the excess tissue paper off of there. We don't need this anymore. You could fold it over, I suppose. I'm just going to go along the edge here and snip it off. So this is the faux suede technique, Glenda. I saw it, someone was talking to me about a different card, and I just commented on it, and I said, did she use an embossing folder or something around it? And she told me it was the technique, and I was like, oh, I have to do that. I haven't done that one in a long time. All right, so there's our garbagey extra pieces. So you'll see it has really lightened it up. It has added texture. One thing I found that helped very much with the texture and having the color show through was to spritz it a little bit with water. So this is one of our spritzers. They come 2 in a pack for $4, and I just put water in it. Some of them have ink and stuff, so I'm going off camera because I don't want to get this on my laptop, but I'm just going to spritz it just ever so lightly. Okay, and that will just help it to show the colors through a little bit. I know, it just adds a little bit more to it. So I'm just pressing down where it kind of lifted a little bit, and it will try to curl, you know. So you could take your heat tool and dry it, but honestly, it's not soaking wet through. It's just the top that's a little bit damp, but that's the suede look. And then to finish off the card, I'm going to add it to a piece that's just a wee bit bigger. My liquid glue or whatever you like to use to put your cards together. I'm a Tombow girl, or Stampin' Seal. Put that on there. We're going to cover some of it up. So if, like me, you have a few little pieces sticking out, just fold them over or snip them off. Or you could use a sponge dauber and add color to the edges of it, and then you wouldn't see them that much because it would just look like it was a blended color. Okay, and so here's this piece done. We're going to add some dimensionals and pop it up here onto the card front. Yeah, it's a different idea, eh? I mean, I think before we had other ways with embossing folders and things to do, it was definitely an up-and-coming trendy type of technique to do. I really like the effect of it, though. So as well as this, I also wanted to show you how to color your ribbon. I'm going to pull in a piece of scrap paper because I have this beautiful on-stage paper to protect my table. I don't get stamping and ink all over it. So I have a couple of our Stampin' Blends. These are the Balmy Blue, light and dark. So I'm going to try both of them on there and see which color I like. This ribbon is 1/4 inch crinkle ribbon, right? It's called Crinkled Seam Binding Ribbon, and I want to do a nice bow on this focal point. So I'm going to use the thick end, the brush end. I'm going to start with the dark and see how that is. See, it's not too dark. If you use the Night of Navy ones, they're along the similar coloring of a similar tone of color, but much darker. So I'm going to go with this. I'll show you what the light looks like as compared. Not a huge difference once it gets on ribbon, actually. A little bit. And what you'll find is that when you add blends color to the crinkled ribbon, and the crinkled ribbon like is perfect for this faux suede technique, is that it's going to make the ribbon just a little bit stiffer. Not a lot, just a little bit, but it allows you to work better with it when you want to tie it into bow and stuff. That's all I'm going to do is just a bow on there, but it's a little bit stiffer. It dries pretty darn quickly. Alright, so let's try tying a bow on camera. We know how well that goes always. Probably have enough to actually wrap it around, even though I stuck it down. But yeah, I have quite a bit. So there is my bow. And you can then you're going to have them in every color that you want. Whatever you're working on, you've got beautiful colored bow. All right, so then I'm going to add this greeting. Friends are like seashells, you collect them along the way. That's a beautiful, beautiful saying, and that's probably my favorite in this stamp set. And I use the Stitch So Sweetly dies to cut this one out. I'm going to put it, I'll put it in the center. And I did a bunch of die cuts just so I could add them here if I wanted to. I really wasn't sure what I was going for. I don't want to add the green. I had the green in mind. But I think I just want to do something like put these here. Where could this bow go? Let's get a blue dot. We'll go further along here. So I'm sorry not to have been here on Tuesday. It was just one of those weeks. But I didn't want to disappoint, so I thought I would come back and get on here and give you a technique. So let's put this, actually, right on the bottom I think would look nice. I should be bold like my friend Glenda and ask you guys to tell me where to put stuff. I'm going to try that sometime. All right, even up our little tails here a wee bit. Put them on the floor so the kid can clean them up. And then these are going to go here with some glue dots just to make it easy. It doesn't need to be popped up any higher, I don't think. Actually, one on either side, maybe. There. Okay, so that is our card for tonight with the faux suede. Great. Yeah, I know, right? Definitely coloring the ribbon. And then this beautiful leaf one. So I hope you give this one a try. Just grab that leftover tissue from a gift or from your paper pumpkin package and go for it. Give it a little spritz. That really adds a lot to it. All right, thanks for watching. I'll be back next week. Have a wonderful couple of days. Thanks, Glenda, for watching. Bye for now.